How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. We'll do another first thoughts today. This one is on Colfenor, The Last You. Remember, as always, if you guys enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button, like this video, comment down below if you're going to build Colfenor. Let me know. Let me know what you're doing with the deck. If you want to support the channel, you got a Patreon. You can support it through the Patreon, which is linked down below. Also, if you're going to buy any of the cards that I talk about in this video, TCG Play affiliate link down below. Plus, we got the giveaway. So if you want this cool playmat, and you want to be featured in the video on the channel where we play a game on Spell Table, all you got to do is link down below and comment on that video. That's it. It's easy. And we're going to hop into this. So Colfenor, The Last You. This card seems pretty cool. It's very generic Abzan, so it's all graveyard-based Abzan. But it's got a cool win con in this deck, and there's a couple cool ways to build the deck. So you can combo off of this deck if you have 2 0-cost creatures, and I'm going to be talking about a few other 0-cost creatures that are going to be auto-includes. 0-cost creatures are going to be really good in this deck. Anything with an X spells that are creatures, very, very good in this deck. So you're going to need 2 0-cost creatures. You're going to need an Anthem effect of any kind. So let's just say your 2 0-cost creatures are Hangerback Walker and Walking Ballista. That works. And let's say your Anthem effect is Benelish Marshal. And then you have a sack outlet. So let's say Altar of Dementia. So what you do is you play one of your 0 drops, sacrifice it to Altar of Dementia. You play it for 0 mana, sack it to Altar of Dementia, because it lives because of the Anthem effect. And so it's in your graveyard now. You just get whatever you want back, whatever. And then if you have if the other one's, well, I was going to say if they're both in your hand. So then you play another 0-drop creature, Hangerback Walker. You sacrifice it to Altar of Dementia. You mill somebody. And you get to go into your graveyard and get the Walking Ballista back to your hand. You play that for 0 mana, sacrifice it to Altar of Dementia, mill somebody. You get back Hangerback Walker to your hand. And you just keep cycling through and you get to mill everybody. Switch it out for Ashnod's Altar, you make infinite mana, you can kill them with the Walking Ballista. Switch that out for Phyrexian Altar, same thing. This is just a very good win con, and Hangerback Walker, Walking Ballista, a lot of these X creatures are going to be auto-includes in this deck, because they're very powerful in this deck. So it seems like it's a pretty easy combo to get off. So I like that. Plus, Anthem effects are going to be strong in this deck anyways, because you get something back based on the toughness, so if you boost the toughness, you're better. Now we're going to talk about some 0-cost creatures, some X-cost creatures to be specific. So these are going to be very powerful in the deck, because you can play them for as much mana as you want, but on the battlefield and in your graveyard, they still have CMC of 0. So they are going to be very easy to get back. Sorry, not CMC of 0. That's not what matters. What matters is that you're going to have toughness of 0 in your graveyard. So if they're in your graveyard, 0 toughness, that means when they die, it's a 0 in your graveyard, right? Right. Yes. So you make one, say you play Walking Ballista and you have it with enter with 4 counters on it. When it dies, you get to get something with toughness 4 or less from your graveyard. So you have the Hangerback Walker in your graveyard. That counts as 0. So you're good. All of these will always count as 0, so you can always get them back, which is huge. And just extremely good in this deck. Extremely good. It just guarantees that you'll hit something. Plus, they all look pretty decent. Stonecoil Serpent is another one of them. Cryptic Trilobite. Endless One. You got Ugin's Conjurant. All of these should be auto-includes. And you can also throw in a bunch of Hydras, because Hydras will also have the 0 there if they're specific Hydras. So Genesis Hydra, that'd be pretty sweet in this deck. Voracious Hydra, it's a good removal spell that you can recur. So there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with this deck. I feel like Hydras and anything with X really very, very good in this deck. So that's a cool way that you can run the deck. You could actually make this a Hydra tribal deck, which is kind of cool. Another way you can build this deck is Toughness Matters, because you got a 3/7 here, and you're in Abzan, which is good colors for it. Unfortunately, I feel like Colfenor is still going to be worse than Doran as a Toughness Matters deck, but you can put him in the deck, or, I mean, he could be the commander, so you have a little more card advantage with the recursion. But Doran's going to be in the deck for sure. And if you do it, you're also going to want like tower defense. You're going to want assault formation because that's like the key card there. You'll want sapling of Colfenor, which is kind of funny, but that's a good Toughness Matters card. You gain a lot of life. Same thing with Ikra Shidiki, whatever his name is. And Oathsworn Giant, good lord for your big butts. But I feel like Toughness Matters is not going to be the best way. I really like the Hydras and creatures with 0 entering with counters on them, like 0 toughness creatures in your graveyard. I like that idea a lot. That seems like it's going to be very, very good. Another big thing you're going to want. Self-mill is going to be very important in the deck because you're going to be able to pull stuff out of your graveyard. So you need to fill your graveyard so you have stuff to pull out. So some good self-mill cards include like Mesmeric Orb, plus you can have Basalt Monolith. That makes it so you can literally just tap and untap it as much as you want. Fill your graveyard as much as you want. Seems very, very good. Morality Shift. If you have if you have like some cards in your graveyard, you can cast it and just switch your graveyard in your deck and go nuts. And if you do that, then there's a lot of really good capitalization cards that we'll get into. You got World Shaper, which is decent, like whenever it attacks you mill, and since you're going to be recurring creatures a lot, you'll be able to get a lot of lands into play off of this, just from milling, sacking, bringing back. It'll be good. It'll be good in the deck. Doom Whisperer, you can surveil just for life, so it seems solid. Hermit Druid, you can either combo off with this thing by having no basics in your deck and doing something with Dread Return, like you can go nuts, or you can throw basics in your deck and just mill the good chunks of your deck at a time, so that way you don't mill yourself out. You got Stitcher Supplier and Satyr Wayfinder. Both these are good. They mill your deck, plus they're good sacrifice targets, and you can recur them very easily because they only got 1 toughness. Then you got stuff like Golgari Grave Troll and other dredgers. Golgari Grave Troll is nice because it does enter with, it is 0 toughness in your graveyard. But I mean, you're just going to end up dredging it to your hand and milling a bunch of cards, so that doesn't really matter. Dredge is nice in this deck, though. Alright, and if you're going to be doing all this self-mill, cards to capitalize on it include like Victimize. Victimize seems really good in this deck because it's a 3-for-1. You get 3 cards for the price of 1, or 2 technically. So you cast it, sacrifice a creature. When you sacrifice a creature, your commander says, go and grab a creature from your graveyard, put it into your hand. So you do that. And then Victimize says, go and get 2 creatures from your graveyard, put them into play. So you do that. So you're going to end up with 1 new creature in your hand, 2 new ones in play for the cost of 1 in your graveyard from play. That's extremely powerful in this deck. You also can capitalize using Ramanap Excavator and Crucible of Worlds, just so you can get the lands out of your graveyard and put them into play. Living Death and Rise from the Dark Realm seems really sweet. Just being able to just throw everything from your graveyard onto the battlefield. Especially if you have a sack outlet with Living Death, because you can sack everything that you have, then Living Death, so it's like a board wipe on your opponents, plus your board comes back with all the other stuff. Seems very strong. Except that wouldn't be great if you're doing a lot of the X spells, because obviously they enter with 0 toughness. Then you're also going to need like Entomb, Buried Alive. Great cards. Very, very good cards for this deck. So that way you can pick the exact creatures that you want in your graveyard, so that way you can bring them to your hand. Plus, I mean, you're also going to want like Life from the Loam in here, because that's a good dredger that lets you get lands out of your graveyard. That should be an auto include. And so yeah, that's what I got for Colfenor, the last U. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check us out on Patreon if you really want to support the channel. And you can, if you want to buy any of the cards that I talked about in this video, buy them through the TCG Player affiliate link down below. We got a lot of stuff linked down below. Check it all out. We also got the giveaway. I know you guys want this playmat. All you got to do is click on this box right here, and you can get this playmat, and you can be featured inside of a game on the channel, and that's always going to be a fun time. So we will see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.